everybody, thanks for joining me today on my channel. My name is Chris with Kristen's Crafts, and today I am bringing you the fifth and final process video for the May Build-A-Page series and May I Scraplift You. And today I am scraplifting Jen, who is Kay's mom over on YouTube. And she did a great, just a grid layout using it looks like 3x3 squares and a 4x4 photo, and I am going to pretty much copy hers pretty spot on. So the picture I am going to scrapbook is of my daughter when she was probably about 18 months old. It was her first family vacation with my husband's whole family. We go every year down to Kentucky to one of the state parks. And so this was her first experience of going down there with the whole family, and it needs to get documented. So it's just a cute photo of her that I really liked. Now, I was able to crop it down, but I wanted to leave things like her chubby little arms. You know, those are the things that now that they're all grown up, you kind of miss and you want to remember. So make sure when you're cropping those photos, you don't take out some of the special parts of the photos. Even some of the backgrounds you want to remember. Like, I try to leave in part of her stroller, even though the picture was not a full-on of her gray Graco stroller. You still want to leave those things in, because 10, 15, 20 years from now, when you're going to look back, you're going to look at, oh, I remember that toy, I remember that couch, things like that. So don't always crop everything down, but I was able to bring out some of the noise. So like the lawn chair that was in the background and part of the stroller. So Jen had all of her squares outlined with a black pen, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. So once I had mine all cut to 3x3, I went ahead and outlined them all. Now, Jen also has mixed media in the background, so you're going to see here, I'm going to move everything to the side, and I'm going to do the packaging technique using just a little packaging from a Spiegel Mom Scraps tear tape that I had. And I'm just using this Heidi Swap pink, and I'm going to dilute it down a little bit with some water using my Tim Holtz spray bottle, and I'm just going to go ahead and smush it around. I do put quite a bit on here. The paper I'm using is not like Vicky Bouton's paper that has that texture to keep it on top, and I did not put any gesso on there, so you're going to see that this paper really does soak it in, and so it does not want to move around a lot. If you wanted it to move around, you could add some maybe clear gesso to it and keep it on the top, but that's okay, because for what I'm doing, most of it's going to get covered up, and you'll just see it peeking out. So what may look to many as being, oh my goodness, it's a hot mess, you don't see it very much in the background. So the nice thing about this, though, is it does dry quickly. So in the meantime, while I'm letting this set up a little bit, I'm just laying out my squares, making sure that I don't have two of the same patterns like right next to each other, and trying to break them up a little bit. You're going to see as I get this going, I do flip the middle one over, and there is, when I went to glue it down, I realized there was a blue plaid, and I'm going to like that that's going to break it up so I don't have so much floral next to floral, and that will help, I think, with the design. So I'm not using my T-square ruler, I'm just eyeballing it. So what I find to be one of the easiest ways is to do the corners first, and I'm looking to make sure there's the same distance of space on each of the sides. Once I have the corners down, then I just kind of split the difference with the middle paper and making sure that that is in a straight line. Now, because there is some mixed media on here, it doesn't want to always stick using the ATG. So on a few of these squares, I just go back with a little wet glue and give it a little help. So here's where you're going to see that I decided to use the back side of that paper, and I like how that kind of split it up a little bit more. So I'm just going to go ahead and outline it and then put the adhesive on the floral side. Now that I have the background done, I'm going to go ahead and adhere my picture. Now I did mat that with some white cardstock and then the green paper that came from the 6x6 paper pad. And again, like Jen had in hers, I'm going to go ahead and outline the outside with my black pen that was running out of ink, and I was happy I was able to get it done before the ink ran out. Now, one of the things that made me happy that I threw in this kit were these 3 butterflies that came from Shadney, and I wanted to make sure that they were included, so I went ahead and put them first onto the background. Now, another thing that Jen had on hers was she had some banners, so I went ahead and grabbed banners out of the book, and I put those down into one of the squares. And I'm just going to go through and embellish. I'm just grabbing stickers and tags from across, out of this Echo Park book, and just trying to find things that say, summer and beautiful, you are my sunshine, things like that, and just kind of do little vignettes in each of the little squares, including some phrase stickers. This ended up being a very easy way of decorating it and pulling in the colors, and I'm very happy with how this turned out. I will go in at the end. Now see, I put this sticker up top, and then I'm going to find that it's a little disjointed, so I'm actually going to pull that one back down to the bottom. And you're going to see I'm going to put that floral right there. And because I had that floral there, that phrase sticker just didn't look like it was in the right place. And now pulling it down to the bottom, I like it a little bit more. And it kind of gives it a little bit of a diagonal design going forward. Added this little stamp in there and just kind of tucking pieces here and there. A little floral. And then I'm grabbing a couple of these little flowers and I'm going to stick them in. And again, trying to find where that they'll kind of stand out against the background paper. And you can see here that these, now I'm glued down the butterflies. And you can see that that mixed media, now that I have the squares down, just isn't in your face like it was in the beginning. The last thing I'm doing is adding some of these gems. I'm not sure where they're, I think they might be the ones from like Walmart. I think that's Studio G. And they're just a little shiny pink. And that is going to be it for the layout. I really love how this turned out. I hope you enjoyed this month in the series of scraplifting the other members of the Build Page series. Have a great day, and we will see you again on my channel.